Welcome to Real Estate Grad School. We coach experienced real estate agents to create and build the habits and systems that rapidly increase your income, build your team, and allow you a much greater peace of mind. I'm Rich Levin. I've been coaching experienced real estate agents for over 20 years to exceptional success. Come and learn. And I've said getting listings has two parts. One part is actually getting the listing appointments, prospecting, marketing, attracting, or generating the listing appointments. And the second part is the listing presentation, getting the listing by doing your listing presentation. And yesterday I established with you that the best listing presentation are customized based on the source of the listing. And you'll understand more and more about that as we go along. So we said yesterday some examples of customizing for the source. I said that if you're doing a listing presentation for a good friend or a past client who feels very good about you, you can be more casual. But be careful, if they're not a good friend, or they're a distant past client, or a referral you don't know, somebody who's referred but you don't know them personally, then you'd be making a mistake to be too casual. You customize your listing presentation for a referral because that referral may have confidence in you, but they may not, depending on how strong the referral was. So you have to learn how strong the referral is by asking questions. And one more example with for sale by owner, you must be able to clearly demonstrate how you're able to get them a higher price. Now, not always. Sometimes they're so discouraged by their experience attempting to sell it themselves, they're ready to list. So there's a wide variety of the type of responses you're going to get from for sale by owners, but particularly in this market, particularly when you're early on in the process, they haven't been on the market that long, you must clearly demonstrate how you're able to get them the higher enough that it covers your commission and nets them more. And as I said yesterday, I'll coach you to conduct each of these and more types of listing presentations with professionalism and confidence. Now, the basic structure of a listing presentation is the same. We just customize a few things in it. I'm going to be teaching you, reinforcing over and over the foundational pieces of the listing presentation, and then the very small amount of adjustment you make based on the person. So you will learn from me the best ways to get listings from many sources. And as we learn how to get them from the source, you'll also learn how to best present to that source. And we're going to start today. I said there are many, many sources. There's 20 here and there are others. There's many sources of listings, many. And we're not going to go through all of them in great detail, some in more detail than others. They're sort of in the order we're going to go through them, but we'll see. We're actually going to start today with sphere of influence and sphere of influence referrals. Now, sphere of influence and sphere of influence referrals, what are we talking about? Who are we talking about? Who are they? And again, you always want to consider making notes as we're talking. Your sphere of influence and referrals from them is everyone you know, and everyone that knows you casually. You know them well, you know them from long ago, you know them from other jobs, you know them because they deliver mail to your house or they cut your hair, you know them because you sit on a bus next to them often. Everyone you know and everyone that knows you who live in the market where you sell real estate. If you came from Boston and you live in Lakewood, Boston, Maryland, and Boston, Massachusetts, and Lakewood, New Jersey, if you live in Lakewood, you're selling real estate in Lakewood, and your friends move to Boston, you don't need to be prospecting them in Boston. Everyone you know and everyone that knows you who live in the market where you sell real estate, including all of your past clients, everybody you sold a house to or rented a house for, all of your referral sources, anybody who's referred your business, and anybody who's been referred to you, even if you haven't sold them or listed their house. So in other words, everyone, just flat out everyone. You say, Rich, that could be a big list. I hope so, because most agents, most of their business comes from this list. When you are new to an area, then it's much harder to build your business. As you build your sphere of influence, your business builds. Now, who are your sphere of influence? Here's a list, not even a comprehensive list, but from your jobs before real estate, or other jobs you have while you're in real estate, or old jobs that you've had in the past, schools you've gone to, all the way to grammar school, colleges you've gone to, places of worship, lodges or clubs, grocery store, people you meet, people who work there, tire salespeople, children's contacts, children's teachers, children's schools, people your spouse knows, manicurists, veterinarian, physicians, pediatricians, painter, plumber, electrician, dentist, pharmacist, decorators, clothing store, hairdresser. I'm naming them all just to let your mind work on these. You know a lot of people. Best man, best woman at your wedding, PTA, Parents Teachers Association, neighbors, music teachers, computer repair, school principal, fireman or police, florist, landscaper, paper deliverer, waitresses, restaurant owner. I had a heart attack in 2020. The guy, the medic, whatever you call him, the ambulance guy who's sitting back in the ambulance with me, we're having a good time because I'm nuts and I had a good time. I was occasionally in pretty severe pain. Anyway, we were talking about real estate and I was telling him about how to buy a house or choosing a realtor and so on. So these leads can come from, I laugh, I had a good time having a heart attack. I don't want to do it again. Wish it hadn't happened the first time, but it's crazy my approach to life. Anyway, here we go. So that's who they are, sphere of influence and sphere of influence referrals. That's who they are. But now, how do you get business from them? That's who they are, but how do you get business from them? And the answer is, you send regular smart mailings, maybe 4 more times a year. And by smart, they have houses for sale, houses sold. They clearly state you sell real estate and you're good at it. You make calls, texts, emails. You communicate with them directly about real estate, not just about garbage, not just about junk, and not happy summer. More like summer's here and the real estate market is getting really active. These are some of the houses I've been looking at, whatever it is, but it's real estate. Unexpected gifts to people who sent you referral, just everybody you sold a house to, once a year, twice a year, send them an unexpected gift. We can talk about what to send. Client parties, literally a gathering of all the people you know and all the people you've sold houses to. I've been to client parties that have hundreds and hundreds of people. I've been to client parties at baseball stadiums, at party houses. I've been to casino nights. I've been to pig roasts. I've been to all kinds, movie nights, all kinds of client parties. Work very well to stay in touch and build business with your sphere of influence. Social media and email. And referral rewards. When you get a referral, you must send them a reward. Send them immediately, send them a gift. So those are some of the ways, by probably a little bit more by priority, starting from the top, that you stay in touch, that you generate business from your sphere of influence. We say, Rich, you're not really asking for business in those contexts. They know what you do. They want to help you. You don't need to be as direct about asking for business when people already are positioned to want to help you. They like you, they trust you, they appreciate what you've done for them. And so you don't have to directly ask, just knowing who you are and then sending them mailing so they're reminded of what you do and who you are. Now coming back to the point of the day, that's who your sphere of influence is and how you stay in touch with them, how you generate business, but how do you customize your listing presentation for them? So before we talk about customizing the listing presentation too much, let's agree on a structure of a listing presentation. So here's the basic structure of a listing presentation. Those of you who don't have a listing presentation, who you can't name this structure without me showing it to you, you do need to write this down and build your listing presentation around this. Okay? The structure of a listing presentation. Number one, before the listing presentation, when you have the listing appointment, You know the house, you know the seller, you prepare your price recommendation, and you begin to prepare the marketing plan you're going to give them to show them what you do to get them the highest possible price. Prepare your price and marketing plan. Part of preparing the price is asking questions over the phone. We'll talk more about that. Establishing rapport and taking control when you get to the house. When you get to the house, taking control of the situation, directing them where you want them to sit, directing the conversation to where you want it to go, doing the walkthrough through the house, and making sure while you're doing the walkthrough not to talk about price or staging or marketing. Step 3, present your marketing plan. Although with sphere of influence, you may not need to do that or not do that nearly as thoroughly. It also presents a problem of marketing plan when you're newer in the business or you don't know what the heck to do. Okay, we'll talk about that. But you can present a very lean, very a narrow marketing plan if you're not sure what to do. But this is the structure. Prepare, price and marketing, establish rapport, take control, present your marketing plan, and then present your pricing. Present market value and recommend price. Present your pricing. Complete the paperwork and obtain signatures. That's it. Simple. Prepare for it. Get there, establish rapport. Subtly take control so they're respecting you. Show them what you do to get their house sold. Agree on price to put their house on the market, and then get the signatures on the listing paperwork. Now, there are other pieces that make your listing presentation stronger. The questions you ask over the phone. There's other pieces, but for right now, for our purposes, it's best to start with these foundational pieces for the purposes of customization that we're talking about now. So, in the minute or two we have, customization for your sphere specifically. So preparing needs to be the same. Preparing needs to be the same. I'm going to go a few minutes over today, so if you have time, stick around, it'll be worth it. Preparing needs to be the same. Don't be careless just because you know the people well and they know you. Marketing plan does not have to be the same. That can be much more casual. Establish rapport with questions also is going to be very much the same. But to present your marketing plan could be substantially different. One of the top agents I coach who takes over 100 listings a year. Yes, you heard that right, 100 listings a year. He's on listing presentations, multiple listing presentations every week. Sometimes he doesn't even present a marketing plan because the people know him and trust him so well. But then presenting market value and recommend price is going to be the same, and complete the paperwork and obtain signatures. So the whole customization is really in your attitude, and number 3, presenting your marketing plan. But as we wrap up and as we get into listing presentation, I want to remind you of some very important basics. I mean, these are not only important, these are critical. Number 1, only present to all the owners. You can't present to the husband without the wife because you need the wife's signature. If you present completely to the husband, he tries to tell the wife what to do. She has a friend who's in real estate. You're screwed. It's over. You cannot get the listing presenting to one of the owners. Even though this owner says, I make all the decisions. It's going to be up to me. You don't need to talk to my spouse. Wrong, wrong, wrong. If you can't talk to all the owners, don't present. I mean that seriously. Because if you present to one, you almost assuredly won't get it. Only present to all the owners. Number 2, do not discuss price, marketing, and staging until the listing presentation. Don't talk about it on the phone. Don't talk about it when you visit there. Don't talk about it on the walkthrough. Don't send them anything. Do not discuss price, marketing, and staging until the listing presentation. It can only work against you. It can't work for you. You think it'll help you, it doesn't. Okay, you think it'll help you, it doesn't. You want to withhold that information until you're actually in your listing presentation. Those of you who don't follow that rule will learn that the hard way. Never provide a CMA or price information until the listing presentation. Do not send a CMA. Do not send comparables. Never provide, if you can't get the listing presentation, do not provide that information. You say, but Rich, everybody else does. Great. Be different. Show them that you are more professional and more respect yourself and the information you have too much to give it away. Ask when you're in the listing presentation, ask before you speak. Do you guys like or hate open houses? Okay, before you start telling them how good your open house is. Do you have an opinion about whether you want to sign on your lawn or not before you start promoting putting the sign on your lawn? Do you want whatever it is? Ask before you speak. Lead with questions. And finally, your listening is more important than your talking. When you are listening, they're talking and you're learning. When you're listening, they respect you more because you respect them. When you're talking and not noticing that they're not listening, when you're talking and not noticing that they're not agreeing with you, when you're talking and you're letting their mind wander, you're losing ground. Your listening is more important than your talking. Just those important basics. I may cover those more again. So if you're interested to have a conversation, to coach with me, just click on the link below. I'd look forward to speaking with you.